What is going on, everybody? How's it going? I'm BirdDogJon. You didn't know that my little sneaky host of Beep Chirp was hanging around? You guys are ridiculous. Ridiculous. Alright, get my ears situated here. Oh my word. Alright. Microphone's on, so let's do this. Welcome to Bird Dog Live. We're here to do some NDI chat, or really just to chat about whatever you want. So thanks for hanging out, and thanks for getting the conversation started there, Beep Chirp. I really appreciate that. Let me fix my ear here. Okay. All right. So here we go. Let's scroll up here on the chat. Let's see what's going on. Beep Chirp already gave us a hello. Based on the feedback for 2010, whatever the firmware is. I will say this, the firmware from earlier this week, let me open the BirdDog website, the firmware website. There was an issue with there was or is an issue where the image, if you set it to flip, it would flip it at random back to normal. So I'm not too sure which firmware they've got out there right now, 374. So that's the one with the issue. So if you're updating to 374, just don't use the flip option just yet, because apparently it's not working. So our guys are working on that. They are well aware. Had about a dozen customers contact me about it. I do know that if you run 3.5, then the flip option works just fine, and you can get that on the previous firmware website off of the support knowledge database. So you go to the BirdDog website, go to knowledge database under support, and then just type in the little search category previous. Just type in the word previous and hit enter. You will see that article come up, and you can download previous firmwares for all devices, actually. I need to go through and update it, though, because I haven't done that like in the past month, so we need to do that. What's going on, iPhone? Thanks for joining us today from Warsaw, Poland. I can state that I do like the current version of the Studio firmware a lot less than the older versions. Studio? I don't know what version I have on here, so we might be doing an update if I have the old one. Here we go. What's going on, Bugsy? Welcome, welcome. Headed to work, eh? Rain in Warsaw. Yeah, we got a whole handful of people already in here. It's that hype train you ran with this morning, Beep Chirp, before we started, so I appreciate that. What's going on, Sherman? I have the firmware issue of the flip. Yeah, okay, so 3.5 is basically my band-aid for that right now. So let me get to that. Whoops, let me get to that previous page. I can actually send you this specific file. Copy. This is the download for that. Sherman, you can grab that there. Feature. Yeah, don't forget to follow, everybody. That's where it's at. Alright, so now I'm going to jump over to my Facebook feed because Restream doesn't do a great job with that. Hey, wait a minute. Where's my Facebook feed? Let's see, view the event. Okay, here it is. Alright, cool. What is this? Hey Heather, how's it going? This is my one of the things I do for a living. I run a support channel for, this is over on Facebook, by the way. I run a support channel for my company, and these guys that are chatting on the screen over here are people that use our products. So that's fun stuff. That's what we do here. But I just kind of host the chat and we all hang out for a bit. Alrighty. mute this. Yada yada yada. Apologies, I do have to duck out. Giving a prezzo in about an hour. Cheers, man. I appreciate that a lot. Appreciate you jumping in and getting the conversation going. Is there a link that you could share to find latest software installers for comms and no, those are not hosted the same way. Mostly because the pro versions of those, you have to buy a license to get them. I believe. I think that's kind of the initial way that they're setting that up. But I can arrange something in that regard. Let's see what we can come up with. I'm still fighting the audio on this feed. Let's check I'm gonna check the audio in one ear on the actual feed. I know you guys are talking to me, so it means that you can hear me somewhat. But I want to make sure that it's fairly clean. I just have the background tunes in my ear on my overhead, so. All right, this sounds pretty good. Actually, the music sounds a lot better here. Okay, cool. So now I've raised it up. So let's see what that sounds like. It'll give me an update in just a second. All right, and then yeah, that's all right. It's not as loud as I want it to be, but it is what it is. We'll go with that. Alrighty, so I'm gonna lose this one and put this one back on if I can. My glasses are in the way. All right. So yeah, I need to get. Okay, so here's one of the pieces that we have been talking about is with the support aspect of things, we're moving to a new platform. I'm moving away from the current setup with the help at bird-dog.tv email, which is here in the corner, which is still active right now, by the way. But we're moving away from that form of support because for sustainability and just keeping my team from being completely snowed under all the time, we're gonna rework the way that we do that. And one of the ways is we're gonna move over to a new platform for our actual tickets, which will, for the most part, still be over email. But to submit a new ticket, you'll use a web form, which will be available on our website, and you can just punch in the data required. One of the reasons for this is because we want to be sure we get the ticket to the agent that's awake. So we're hiring some people around the world to do product support because I'm in the States and I'm awake. I'm at my office usually between 9 and 5. However, I'm also the US RMA department, and so I have to drive to UPS, which is in the next town over. That process can take up to an hour or maybe more, depending on what I have going on, how many packages I've got to pick up, and it just keeps going. So it's becoming more and more of an issue that way. So we want to be sure that when tickets come in, like if iPhone submits a ticket from Warsaw, it goes to somebody who can kind of help him in his own time zone, and hopefully that will give us a little bit better like response time and customer service mentality, which is great. So we're hiring some people to come on and help with support. So if you feel like tickets haven't been responded to in, fast enough or whatever, we're trying to address some of that. I usually try and get to tickets within 48 hours, brand new ones. But to be quite honest, most days I try and go through all the new ones. So there's no outstanding new tickets that haven't been discussed yet. And then I go on to, current tickets. So I like responses. Well, I'm still planning on doing this, so we can certainly still talk about what's going on. I hope that going forward, we can bring on other support agents to talk about stuff. So as the team grows, you won't only get to see me, but you'll get to see other agents and get to know them and their personality and that sort of thing. So when you do submit tickets, you'll have a sense of connection with them as well. So unfortunately, this show happens between 11 and 12 in the Eastern time zone in the US, and those other agents are obviously going to be at different times. So right now in the afternoon, it's the afternoon over in London, which would be fine, but it's the middle of the night in Melbourne. So if we were to hire somebody in Australia, that wouldn't necessarily work. Let's see, right now it is 3:10 a.m. in Melbourne. So it's kind of late. Anyway, so yeah, we want to be sure that support has like a big invisible connection point. I'm going to bring more people on. This is going to be one of the facets that we use to kind of talk through tickets, talk through issues. And then, yeah, I think we're looking to hire at least one other person somewhere. And so more of that discussion is happening right now so we can figure it out for 2021 because, as you know, there are more products that are about to be released. Wallplate is about to be released. Flex Out is about to be released. And the SDM module is about to be released for NEC monitors. So we're really excited. It's going to be a jumping year next year and super busy because we're basically going to get thrust into the NDI realm for AV, which that market doesn't really even exist right now. The key with getting into the AV market is it's got to be super simple and you got to be able to deploy it quickly. So if guys can get in and set it up fast, then it's going to sell like crazy and it's just consistent, never changes. It's always good to go. If there's a lot of like problems or issues happening that you've constantly got to have somebody there to handle it and update it and all that, that's not going to work as well. So true success is going to be ease of use and to make sure that all questions, the majority, not all, but the majority of the questions that guys are going to have around the world are readily available for them whenever they have them. So there are certain people in this world who require a phone call to get anything done. That's fine. We're going to try and have phone services set up so that incoming calls can be handled kind of on a extreme, emergency basis. But we would love to have such a robust self-service section that you can submit a ticket and wait a couple hours for a response, or you can click on a knowledge database article and get your answer right away. So although people don't like that option as much as they like a phone, or as much as they like tickets, actually, for that matter, it actually gets them their answer the fastest and gets them billing and making money the quickest. So that's pretty important, I think. And when you lay it out to them and say, look, you can wait today and you can submit your ticket this afternoon. We'll get it tonight or tomorrow, have a look at it, try and work with you what the solution is back and forth. Or you can check out the knowledge database and get this project done today, bill today, and get out the door and get to your next one. Most people are not going to say, I'd rather wait and not make my money. So it's pretty forward in terms of, I think that will be ultimately the best way to do that, just because people will be able to get going with their projects and complete them, which is really what we're into, right? Like we make products so people can accomplish a goal. Well, if they have to wait around for solutions, they're not making money and they're waiting on us. So I want to minimize that as much as we can. I want to make the answers available so that it's not hard to just figure out, I'm having this issue, I can't find my device. Here's a little brief tutorial on, Network 101 stuff that will help you walk through what you need to know to make it happen. So I like the knowledge base model. Good. I have mixed reports on the knowledge base model, so I'm happy to hear. They call it self-service. I don't know if that's if that's the real name, but pretty much, let us help you find the answers. The knowledge database has to be intuitive enough where it's like 3 clicks and you're at the article you need, right? So whether it's a search engine or whether it's pictures, like I have a P100 and you press the P100 button, and then what questions, network settings, or I don't know what else there could really be, but so you click on the one that you want for that, and then okay, what question about the P100 settings do you have? And you can filter through the articles pretty quick. I've got to sit down and really iron out what that's all going to look like and how that's all going to work, but Maybe add some 2-minute overviews or something. Okay, so I know that there are several videos being worked on right now about product overviews, about like here's what it is, here's what it isn't, here's how you use it. It's very difficult to go through a product like a studio in 2 minutes and explain all the stuff that it does, because what's going to happen is you're going to have people that watch the video and it doesn't mention the feature that they're looking for, and so they're going to pass on it. And so, but it does have that feature, you know, so you have to like kind of go top to bottom. So product videos might just need to be a little bit longer, but if it is and it covers all the features that the product can do, then it might be a really good advertising tool. Like if you're speccing out projects and somebody's choosing between a P100 and a P200, you could say, watch these two videos and you tell me what you think, and they can make an educated decision based on what features are available for, you know, that particular camera. So it might even help the sales team. It might help you spec out projects and budgeting and all that, like making sure that it's all kind of a cohesive, here's what you're getting. And then when the customer says, well, why doesn't it also make sandwiches? You say, well, the product video never said that the camera made sandwiches. So while you're here, I thought I might ask you a question. Phil Lane is going to ask me a question. Dude, it's usually the other way around. Do you know of any NDI time-lapse recorders at all? That I have never heard of being done. It's probably software-based. To break use case topics into smaller knowledge-based troubleshooting. So, yeah. I have found that we've had a lot more reception with the videos that we do, that I've done so far. And so I think we're going to turn up the volume on those a bit and start producing those a lot more. Phil, I don't know. I don't know of an NDI time-lapse recorder that there are people doing it. Sienna TV, they have a module. Hang on, let me see. Can you do a proper time lapse in OBS? OBS can't do time lapse itself. You can record a 1 frame per second, which will result in a 1 FPS video. You need to speed this up to 30 or 60 in post-processing. Darn it, I was afraid that was the case. I do time lapses. I find that even though when you speed it up, you want to record at 30 frames to get a smooth video in the end. You will record at a lower frame rate and then speed it up. You wind up with a video that looks like buffering and dropping a lot of frames. I don't know. That's not Sienna, that's Reddit. They're talking about OBS. Somebody did one in India, apparently. Let me use this. Boy, that's like 1 a minute. That looks terrible. Oh no, not India, Indiana. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know of a way to do that. Bugsy. So what did you think of the Apple event? I think it's a bold move for them on their chips. Okay, so yes, to move away from for those of you who don't know, we did a little watch party for the Apple program for the Apple announcements on Tuesday. I have noticed, the first out of the gates, I've noticed that they've done several events like this. I think is a bit hokey. I wish they just combined everything into one and waited until they were ready, but it sounds like different products were getting released at different times, and so they had to market it as 3 separate events, which was kind of like, it's a bit much, but anyway. Google time-lapse strobe. So, starting to build their own chips. The first thing I noticed was the naming convention. Remember when they had OS X and they made this big stinking deal about getting away from numbers? So they were getting away from cats because they were running out of cats, and then now they're on to like mountains or something like that. Anyway, so I think the M1 is just all right. With Apple, there's I get a little bit cynical because they love to set the bar real low for them to like do something better next time. So the specs on the chip itself were, I mean, they're fast. They're faster than what most Macs will, have right now. For sure, it's better. I don't believe that it's the best they could have done. And so I'm a little bit disappointed there, where when you like reserve something in the gas tank, right? So that you can outdo yourself next time. You do, and you start doing that on a repetitive scale, it gets really, people start like seeing that. Because, well, 2 things. People see that, and second is it doesn't require you to push too hard to get to the next level. And so I don't know if that's they don't have confidence in their engineering platform anymore, in terms of, well, let's just set this kind of low and then we'll smash it next time, and then we'll be able to just continually stay ahead. And this is one of the items that people get really annoyed with, like the conversation between Android and Apple is like, it seems that Apple stopped pushing the envelope shortly after Steve passed, and they play it safe so that next time they can make the big announcement again, And I hate that. I think that that's not the spirit of what Apple was years ago. And so the fact that they play it safe so that they can outdo themselves next year when the new one comes out and they update all their computer. Oh, now you need the newer computer because it's the M2 chip and yada yada. And they can make these silly claims like it's 4 times faster. It's like, well, you could probably actually make that chip now. Like you probably have the technology. You're not gonna have to pour a lot of money into R&D and whatever to make that happen. So, I'm all right. Well, yeah. Well, and I don't expect Tim Cook to be Steve Jobs. I expect Apple to be Apple, though. Like, I expect them to push it to where they are like, now how are we going to outdo ourselves? But it seems like it's like, we'll set the bar for the M1 so that we can easily outdo it for the M2. And it's just kind of like, that's not really what Apple was about. Because when you bought an Apple product, it was the latest and greatest. It was the blazing fast. It was like uncharted territory. Now it's kind of like, you can get these speeds from other chips too, like if you really pay for it. So anyway, I don't mind. I think the chip is nice. It'll be great to see its performance. I doubt I'll ever have my hand on one anytime soon, but it's pretty cool. I wish they would have announced that it's integrated in their entire fleet. It seems like they did so they have these like sections of updates, right? And if you go to macrumors.com, they do a buyer's guide, so it shows the life cycle of a machine, and they run these life cycles every 2 years, basically. And some of them are a little bit shorter. Look under buyer's guide on macrumors.com and scroll down, and you can see it says like buy now, neutral, like they're in the middle of the product cycle, and then caution, you're getting to the end. And I can actually even just throw this up here. Let's do that. So here, like Mac Mini just updated 2 days ago. Buy it now. Mac 13 just updated. But like Mac Pro, like iMac Pro, why were these not announced? Why isn't the the MacBook Pro and the Mac Pro and the iMac Pro all getting the M1 right now? It's silly. So, how's it going, MTash? Thanks for jumping in. And so I'm just kind of like, kind of annoyed by that. But if I'm ever in the market for a machine like this, maybe. So this was updated August of this year. The problem is that the doesn't have the M1 chip, so no one's gonna buy this machine now, right? This guy is crazy old. Whoa, December. So this is due like right away. Yeah. I kind of assumed that when you announce a brand new processor for your specific brand of computer, everything would get it. Everything gets the M1. And they just roll it out, and it's just slaughters everybody in terms of competition. But instead they're like, we just announced updates for this, and this one's still in the middle of its product cycle. And so we'll wait maybe another year before we integrate the M1. Anyway, so that's the sort of announcement I think Steve would have made. Steve would have come out and said, here's our M1 chip. It's amazing fast. We're doing everything in-house now. We build it for our machines, you know, yada, yada, yada. And then say, like, and every Mac now has the M1 chip. Today, you know. So anyway, what ifs? I think they shot themselves in the foot. They didn't give us any proper graphs on what the chip they tested against, and we should have more. Well, and that's their argument has always been, well, you know, you can't test apples and oranges. Can't test apples and oranges because you know, we don't need as much RAM to do what we need to do. And it's like, yeah, but can you at least give us like what the performance was and now what it is? Show us like actually like benchmarks, because you know exactly what's going to happen. All of the product reviewers, that's the first thing they're going to do is they're going to pit it against the previous model and get benchmarks off of it. So maybe they figured there'll be enough people talking about their product running benchmarks that they don't need to do it themselves. Might actually be a marketing angle. But who knows? I don't know. How's it going, everybody? Thanks for joining me today. I am watching all the chats in various places. The main show is on Twitch, so if you have a Twitch account or you want to make a Twitch account, come on over. Be happy to have you follow the channel. I'll give you a little celebration DJ horn blast if you do, and we'll hang out every Tuesday, Thursday from 11 to 12 usually. There's some shifts happening over at BirdDog, and so we'll be announcing those in the next little while. I have been told, and it was published on Facebook, that there are some announcements coming next week sometime, or maybe in a little bit more of a week. So watch the Facebook user group for a like a webinar announcement, and yeah, that'll be pretty fun. So check that out. Keep your eyes open to the user group, and you'll be able to hear it there first, along with the rest of the world. My sister's hilarious. So yeah, lots of cool stuff going on at BirdDog. Of course, lots of tickets going on too. Don't think that I have forgotten that. Lots of let's do this. Let's jump over to the desktop. Big show coming. I'm very excited. Yeah, me too. I have a meeting with the Australians tonight, my night, their morning. So we're going to be going over a bunch of launch stuff, and also ticketing system and all that sort of thing. So we're migrating over. It's going to happen hopefully by the end of the month. And so that will be a big shift in how we do stuff. Whoa, lots of new tickets here overnight. So here we go. Okay, cool. I'm excited. Boom. Love it when tickets are quick to solve. I don't know the answer to that one, actually. So yeah, fun stuff. What else we got going on here? We're rounding the end of the week, so that's cool. I got to run to UPS this afternoon, drop off a bunch of shipments because I have fixed a whole lot of products and they're ready to go out the door. So I'm excited about that. Oh, hey, who was it that said? Oh, maybe it was Beep Chirp. Yeah, he said he wasn't thrilled with the setup for the new studio. So let's just take a look at what he may have been referring to, and we can walk through some of that together. Jump into my Unify system. Whoa! This is... internet capacity is like off the scales right now. Whoops a daisy. So let's just check this out. That'll settle down in a second. BirdDog Studio 21. 1.21. By the way, a week ago, right? A week ago we were talking about home automation stuff using Home Assistant and HomeKit. And I'm really liking it. Okay, so I think I've got the latest version on here. Where's the firmware website? This one. Alright, so latest. I think one thing I enjoyed from the event was macros. Yes, that was great. I enjoyed that a lot too. It's like a throwback to the good old days. Okay, so here is my studio. It is running 364, which is the latest. I have a Rev 364. Beef Chirp said that he didn't care for the current version. I can state that I like the current version of the studio firmware a lot less than the older version. What is it that has changed that he doesn't like? Or is he still sitting in here? No. The only thing that I think has changed is some of this stuff that explains like what certain things do. There's a couple of extra settings, like the decode stream. You can change it to proxy if you want, which lightens the bandwidth load a whole bunch. None of that's changed. Oh, maybe he means this. So previous, we had loop and decode on the output page. So this was not here. And here it said loop or decode right here. And it was confusing people because really it's what operational mode is the unit running it. And so we changed it so that it would run as encode mode or decode mode. So maybe that's what he was referring to, but I don't know. Anyway, good times. I really liked the PC guy at the end. That was fun. He has been in a few things now since then. Apple propelling him to fame. What's going on, everybody? Hey, thanks for coming out and hanging out with us today. Feel free to hit the follow button. I mean, I love it if you subscribe, but just follow us for sure so that we can keep you guys informed as to when we go live. It's usually Tuesday, Thursdays from 11 to 12 Eastern time. And we hang out, we have a good chat time, and get to touch base with people in the NDI community, which is great, in the bird dog community specifically. But also I got a handful of people that hang out on YouTube and Facebook, more on Facebook than YouTube. So if you're with us there, thanks for hanging out, and nice to see you. Or nice to see that you're seeing me. It's a one-way street. So yeah, cool stuff there. And yeah, otherwise we just kind of go over tickets. Seems to be just some general questions coming in here the past few days. One thing that has been said often is, where do I send a product when it's broken, physically broken? And right now we don't have a repair department. So treat your bird dog devices as though they are like delicate glass, because indeed, if you drop it, you'll have to figure out how to fix it. I've done a couple repairs, but I don't have all the spare parts and everything that we need. You have to order those from China, and so it takes weeks upon weeks to get here. And then, so like the one repair that I did, it was a physically broken unit. Let me get a P200 here. So we have this like constant repetitive issue where people think this is a button, and so one guy like pushed it in and broke it. One guy pushed it so hard that it shattered the actual plastic casing, and it's like that's not a button. Don't press that. I've had people that have dropped these and broken the SDI module basically, and like broke the connection, and I can't fix that right now. I don't have that those products or that skill level right now. So please don't do that, because I hate telling customers that it's probably broken and you'll have to buy another one, because that's an expensive problem. We are working with some of our international guys to work on repairs because they have the ability to do that, but right now in the US that is not an option. Is this song repeating? I think the song just played. It may have just gone through the entire set list, so I have no idea. Alright, I've got a P200 here. I just want to see what its state is. Move these over here. Studio monitor is up. And nothing. Alright, so we're going to run NDI analysis. Oh, whoops, nope, that's scan converter. NDI analysis is this one. And nothing. Okay, cool. So that is not working, and that's kind of a pain in the rear. No, you wouldn't. Alright, let's see if this pops up at all. If it doesn't, my dog is not happy downstairs right now. I might have to try Neuralizer on this P200 just to see if I can get her to come back. I really need to put a big shipment together and send all these RMA products off to BirdDog, because I've had them all for over a year. I've been accumulating them for more than a year, probably a year and a half. And over that amount of time, things kind of build up a little bit, so. Yoink? Okay. No NDI devices found, so that's cool. Thanks for joining us today, guys. Appreciate that. If you're hanging out on Facebook, hey, how's it going? Nice to see you. Shoot me a message on there if you are. And obviously you guys here on Twitch, just keep it going. I've had a very generous um, attendee on Twitch who has gifted the majority of my audience monthly subscriptions to this channel, and I don't know how to properly thank him, so I put it on the actual screen for the Twitch show, and then of course I put the latest subscribers up the top too, so they're over here. But yeah, we've had some interesting subscription conversations, and then all of a sudden he would gift a whole bunch that everybody get these free subscriptions, so that's pretty fun. And that supports this channel. I've always said that if anybody were to ever subscribe and Twitch were to ever send me a check, I would buy something that would enhance the show. So don't know what that is right now. Maybe a new lens, or maybe I don't know. I bought a new microphone. I have a light. Maybe I need like a bird dog flag or something. I don't know. Well, we can run a poll and see what people think is the appropriate keyword. Insure your equipment. Oh yeah, for sure. Definitely insure your equipment, and especially if you're taking it and setting it up where other people who don't own your equipment are going to be. Yeah, shout out to Beep Chirp, even though he's not here. That's pretty cool stuff. I do know that if you have a Prime account, then they give you a free subscription every month, so you can like pick your favorite streamer. So I am probably not your favorite, but that is an option if you have a Twitch account and a Prime account and they're linked, because Amazon owns Twitch, and so if they're linked, you can give away your free Prime subscription every month to somebody on Twitch, and Amazon will actually pay them for that. So it's not much. It's like, I forget what is the monetary value. It's like pennies or something like that. It's not much. And then they don't even cut you a check until you make like $100. So I'm not going to see a check in a long time. What is this? Streamlabs, right? Streamlabs dashboard. So make this full screen dashboard. Okay, so wow, I haven't been in here in a long time. New alert box themes, new apps, new multi-stream, new Twitch panels, YouTube thumbnails. I don't even know where I'm supposed to go here. Advanced stats. This week. This month. Follows 23 subscriptions this month. This year, I think I've got 41, right? Because I think that's the grand total of subscriptions I've ever had. This is not giving me stats. Oh, here, yeah, 43 subscriptions total, which is a plus 87% from previous years, which was 0. So that's funny. Donations, revenue says 0. Goes to link. Recent events. Where is the subscription event? That's really what I want to see. Subscriber history. Here we go. Okay, so this is not actually helping me at all. Let's go over to Nightbot, see if Nightbot knows anything else. Log in. Twitch. Nope, not me. You're about to. Oh no! Did I just? BirdDogJon. This one. Ugh. Okay. So here's some other information, I guess. Man, I'm not good at keeping up on this stuff. Logs, regulars. Dude, where did Ninja go? Ninja used to hang out all the time, then he got a new job, and now he never comes around. Okay, Nightbot really knows nothing as well. Perfect. Alright. Maybe the actual Twitch page will have it. Currently live. Creator dashboard. You. Oh no! Shoot, I didn't update the... I didn't update my title for any of this. Bummer. Let's see if I can do this midstream. Probably not. You? Well, we'll see. Oh, it updated on Twitch. Nice. I could run a poll from here, so that's what I should do. Should take suggestions as to what is the next piece of streaming equipment I should look at buying. And then we can take a poll. Stream summary, channel analytics. Okay. Well, it may not be that far off then. Cool, cool. What is this? Whoa! This just got updated, apparently. Edit your stats and panels. Interesting. Okay, done. My watch just told me I haven't moved enough this hour. That's funny. All right, well, we've quieted down a little bit. I don't mind that at all. Let me get this over here. Hope your NDI streams have been going well this week. I have. This Sunday, I've migrated my Streamlabs OBS platform that I use at the congregation I stream at to use just straight OBS. And the reason why is because the OBS version does an NDI output. And the NDI output we want to use on the screens in the auditorium. So we're gonna play around with that a little bit. I probably should go in early on Sunday and do that, but who knows if we'll have time for that. I also wonder, does Pro Presenter 7 accept NDI feeds? I don't want to. I know it outputs NDI, but can it see NDI feeds and like actually read them? Because the idea is that we would override what's going up onto the screens and then just push what I'm producing in the show. So so that people at home and the people in the auditorium are all seeing the same experience, other than they're physically present. They can see the people on stage and that sort of thing. But that the show itself, in terms of cameras and all that, is all the same experience for everybody. There's an interesting conversation about that I watched the other day. Some streaming churches are doing specific video, like basically doing a video that they premiere, and that's the service for the people online, and then the people that are in person get like a different experience. I don't know if that's better, mostly because although the experience is tailored for the people at home, there's a separation there between what's actually happening live and what is like pre-recorded and not live. So people will usually tune in more. They're more likely to tune in when the show is live. So if you say we're going live at 11, they're likely to watch it and be a part of it because they have the opportunity to be a part of it, more so than watching it after the fact and just kind of watching or recording. So I don't know if like online presence, if that the streaming conversation really works when you're doing pre-recorded sessions for people to participate in after the fact or not live. So it kind of defeats the purpose of actually streaming. However, I could see a place for it, like if they wanted to do like a midweek like a midweek gathering or a midweek video that people could also like follow up on. But like the Sunday morning, the being in the community piece is kind of the point. Not being separated and being isolated in your home, which is one of the challenges that a lot of communities in general, not just religious communities, but communities in general are struggling with, is how do we still maintain a sense of community while we're all basically regulated to our homes. And not to talk political here, but there are rumors that if a new administration takes over in the U.S., at least, that there will be a 4 to 8 week total lockdown to try and control the coronavirus, which has been tried in other countries. Some have been successful, some have not. Some countries are not required to report, like the U.S. is quite required, or Canada. They're required to report anything and everything that smells like COVID. So it's a bit of an interesting idea. I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying this is coming, potentially. And those communities have to figure out what it really means to, continue to function in those environments. And so streaming ends up being a very interesting conversation, because how do you do that effectively where people don't feel like they're watching something, but that they're actually like participating in the community that they belong in? So I don't think I've seen anybody do it really well, or like come out with a really good usable platform. Now, I do know of one place that uses Zoom in this regard, where the congregation can't meet, and so what they do is they hold a Zoom meeting, and everybody comes into the Zoom meeting, and the administrator, if you will, or the person in charge of the meeting, will keep everybody muted, and then we'll kind of move through service and on Zoom. And although it seems kind of like we're all meeting in our pajamas, what they're allowed to do then is you can call on people, or people from the audience can still participate if that's the way your congregation's set up. So you have somebody that's going to come up and do announcements, somebody that's going to come up and read, or somebody that's going to lead a prayer, or lead a song, or whatever. You can actually still call on those people, and they can still participate in that way. um, which keeps the interactive community environment still alive. And it's not really produced, which is good or bad. Some people would really prefer it that, if we're going to publicize our congregation's online presence, that it at least looked like we put some time and effort into it, instead of just like a group Zoom where we all get together on our sweaters and our sweatpants and kind of go through the service. So it's an interesting idea, but I don't know if it's been perfected yet. How do I move my BirdDog Multi-Viewer Pro key? There is a little hamburger in the top right-hand corner above Multi-Viewer 3. If you click on that, it says Deactivate License, and then you can move your license to a different machine. That is how it's done. Let me know if it works while I'm here. We might as well make sure that it works. It's above the Multi-Viewer 3 window. So you open Multi-Viewer on the machine that you're using it on, and on the top right-hand corner, it's really grayed out. It's really hard to see. I'm going to ask them to make that like BirdDog green or something, because it would be easier if it was there. But you click on that, and it'll pop open a window that says Deactivate License. So top right-hand corner. Actually, I'm going to do that right now. Time-lapse strobe. What is that? Time-lapse, not stone. Strobe. I'm not getting anything that's very helpful, that's very obvious as to what it is. That it's just talking about deflicker. I see it now. Good. Good, good. Oh, good stuff. All right. What do we got here? Oh man, it's already 12 o'clock. Here I am just yakking away. Listen to the show here real quick. All right, cool. Sounds all right. All right, so
all right is usually defined as being satisfactory or in satisfactory condition.
Echo. Stop. Too many machines in this studio. I hit paste on the wrong keyboard. Okay, do you need your code? I can send it to you. Because I'm just that handy. If not, no worries, but probably got your email here somewhere. Clients. Sherman. There you are. Let me know if you need it. I can get it to you. There we go. Oh, it's true. Okay, okay, good. Good. Well, certainly don't forget to come hang out with us every week, Tuesday, Thursday, from 11 to 12. We like to just try to be big and visible and available and that sort of thing for BirdDog users, or for anybody really. If you're joining me on Facebook or YouTube, how's it going? I am happy you are there. Feel free to reach out to me, send me a message, let me know how you're doing. A lot of those places are more of my personal realm and not my professional realm. So here on Twitch, we got lots of folks hanging out and chatting and all that sort of good stuff. And if you want to follow us along and do me a big favor, grab a Twitch account and not subscribe. You can just follow. I mean, please subscribe, but follow us on Twitch, and that would help us out big time because we are slowly accumulating more and more followers. If you notice on like LinkedIn, the BirdDog group on the BirdDog like user group on LinkedIn. Let me just click on it here because I'm one of the owners of the group, not of the company. Has over 8,000 followers, and so that is huge. First of all, and I need to actually start posting this on LinkedIn because there's a lot of people on there. But 8,000 people is more than several other companies in the NDI realm, and I'll let you find out who that is on your own. But we're thrilled, and if that's where some of our major announcements are starting to go because our marketing team is awesome, and so check that out. The BirdDog LinkedIn page is pretty obvious. It just is BirdDog Broadcast Media from Collingwood, Victoria, Australia. So check them out on LinkedIn. Also check us out on Facebook. There is a BirdDog user group that has a lot of super helpful people. Actually, many of the people that you see here in this show are also on that group. And so if you have questions and well, honestly, if you have questions like what network switch should I buy, that's something I can't answer for you, but it is something that users could help you decide and figure out. Hey, I use this switch, I just have to configure it this way and it works really well. That sort of stuff is good to go over and have that resource at your fingertips. So check out the BirdDog user group on Facebook, check out the LinkedIn BirdDog page, and follow us both places. That would help us out big time. Also follow us here on Twitch to get notifications on when we go live. We're going to start doing more stuff in terms of live conversations and chats and that sort of thing. So you want to follow us here so that you know when we do that stuff. And that depends on how you have your Twitch notifications set up on your phone or your email or whatever. So there's lots of potential there. Fun to have you guys along for the ride here today. And I'm just going to check something here. Okay. So yeah, there's normally lots of conversation going on, and sometimes a quiet day is a good day as well. There are more announcements coming up. Expect to see in the next couple of weeks a sign up for a webinar that will announce some things coming to BirdDog. You're going to want to keep an eye on that. Check that out on LinkedIn. Check that out on the user group on Facebook. And of course, as soon as I have those details, you will have them here in this chat as well. So lots of places for you to stay up to date with us. This is a great place to ask your questions about BirdDog. We helped Sherman get his license key deactivated on his one machine. Just quick ways that I can quickly help you with stuff. The support group is actually growing in size over the next couple of months, and so it's not just going to be me at the help desk anymore. We're going to have more than one person answering tickets, which so excited about. We're going to have some more time zones covered so that there is more available help during more business hours, and so watch for those announcements. And of course, when it's official, we'll be making those announcements here as well. So good stuff is coming. Some exciting things as the company grows. We're trying really hard to keep our model as personable as possible so that folks can continue to... I mean, the BirdDog guys love to jump in and help you figure it out, and they're very, they like to touch base with their clients. As you get to thousands and thousands of users, that becomes very hard. Obviously the owner's time is going to be limited, so we have to be careful there as to what expectations we have. But we're trying to scale so that we can keep it fairly, a small touch-based group of guys that you recognize, and that hopefully one day you can join us at trade shows and that sort of thing, and come and shake hands and, maybe shake hands or bump elbows. I don't know how that is going to work. But we are planning on going to trade shows when they start up again, so that'll be fun and quite the experiment. I've only ever been to a couple of them since I started. I've been here for more than a year, but COVID shut us down this year, so we only had NAB New York and NAB Las Vegas last year that I was able to go to, and then there was a couple others in Europe that my boy Phil was there even before he was with us, and then of course Dan and Eamon and those guys as well. So there's a lot going on. We're really excited about the announcements. Stay tuned. Join me on Tuesday at 11 a.m. Eastern time, and maybe I'll know more that I'll be able to talk to you about. So be sure you hang out. Be sure you follow my Twitch channel. That would be greatly appreciated. And if you have a free Prime subscription option, feel free to subscribe. I would appreciate that too. That will just make things better as time goes along. So lots of stuff coming up. We really appreciate you guys hanging out. Thanks so much. I'm going to wrap it up. I got to get to another meeting at 12:15. But in the meantime, take care of yourselves. Stay safe, stay healthy, and avoid the corona. And we'll see you on Tuesday. Even if you have the corona, come join me on Tuesday at 11 Eastern, and we'll hang out together and have a good time. Cheers, guys. Really appreciate you. We'll see you next week. Later.